Hi again. I just had installed the camera and things, and there is another subject that I talk about today with a friend, and it was about fitting in and true belonging. She is a Finnish architect living in Sweden, and I am a Colombian living in Sweden. I am an architect, but I study here, and I've been living in Sweden 23 years. I grew up in Colombia. So we were talking about, we had in common that we both grew up in different places, and we started to talk about the difference between belonging and fitting in. And because my father is very interested in philosophy, I have been also studying philosophy. This is one of the biggest questions for me, being a foreigner, having this personality that is so outgoing and very Latin, and living in a place like Sweden where everybody is quite raw and cold and very decent, but in a strange way, like very unreachable. And something that we discussed was because she had read it too, was Nietzsche's manifesto of individuality and belonging. And we had talked about this, and something that we discussed was also Brené Brown's TED talk about belonging. And some of the conclusions that we got that maybe can help somebody out there with this experience, living abroad, being far away from home and missing so much. You see, like this background, this is Colombia, and out there is Stockholm, very cold, very dark, and this is like 4 in the afternoon. And something that we say about fitting in is like the difference, because you need to establish in your mind, where is it that I belong? Am I doing this to fit in? Something that is in the manifesto of Nietzsche that he says that is so true is that groups have always put a lot of pressure on people to let go of their personality in order to fit in. And that pressure is so high that most of the people give in, and they lose themselves in order to feel some kind of belonging. But he also says that as soon as you act in a transaction where you have paid a price in order to belong, you just know in that transaction that you don't. And if it comes with a price where I have to give up part of my personality, or part of the things of who I am, part of the things that I like, how I like to dress, how I like to speak, how I like to be, then you just have to know that that is just to fit in. And the price of it is very high, because you have lost part of your integrity and you have lost part of yourself in order to feel that feeling of belonging, which is temporary. And he has on the other side what true belonging is, and what Brené Brown talks about, that you belong in the places where your flaws are embraced, and you're loved not because despite of your flaws, but because of them. The people that like you and love you because of who you are, and those are few. And you're lucky, really lucky, if you have a mother and a father that have given you a home where you belong. And you are lucky if you are able to create a home for yourself where you belong to your kids, where you belong to your spouse, where you belong to yourself. And this room is a little bit of me reminding myself that I know where I come from. I am a South American Papagoya that loves talking. I need to start my own channel to get someone to talk to. But this Papagoya is among penguins. And I remind that myself every day, because I had this Photoshop of me as a colorful bird coming into the snow with all these penguins and all of them looking. And I have to remind myself that they know how to swim. They are great swimmers, but I know how to fly, and I know how to talk. And maybe we have more in common than the things that we don't. But the face layers of us, the first layers between us, kind of is like a disguise to just put us into different boxes. But I believe we have a lot of things in common. And I have struggled a lot with how am I gonna fit in? How in all the jobs people look at me. The girls think you're a prima donna because you fixed yourself and you're so girly and going high heels. But girls, I'm Colombian. We go in high heels. What am I gonna do? I'm a girly girl. I love all these things, and I don't do it to show off. I do it because it's so me. I went to a Catholic girls' school, and I was just dreaming of the day that I could choose my own clothing. And so here I am. And wait. When my husband came in to tell me he was picking up the kids. But something that I have to remind myself every day is that I don't need to be like them. I cannot lose myself in that, because the price is, like Nietzsche says, you have paid an extremely high price. And the only thing that I can do for me is to show up for myself. And all the time, show kindness to the people that cannot embrace me. Because instead of being angry at them, I can show empathy and feel like, oh, you're not big enough to embrace me. So I feel sorry that you grew up in this little world. And I think we can, in the future, maybe meet again and have a different experience, but maybe not now. Because I feel like before I had felt so angry that people were just so rejective of the way you talk, or the way you say something, or you laugh, or you're touchy, or you say hello with kisses and people jump. I think many people can relate to it, many Latins living abroad, and I just feel that the more that you accept who you are, the more you also learn to accept other people. And it's an equal equation. And I treat myself with compassion. I tell myself, little bird, you will heal. You're just a little bird in somewhere else, and you're completely normal. There is nothing wrong. And just try to remind yourself with kind words, because we're so hard on ourselves. We are extremely hard. I used to think like, what am I doing wrong? And why does everybody fit in and I don't? Why all these girls, I want to be friends with them, but I can't. And instead, when I started just to be kind to myself, the right people started showing up. The right kind of girls, Swedish girls, foreigners too, other from other countries just started to show up and became my friends. And you start to surround yourself with people that like themselves and like you too. So that's my advice for you, for anybody struggling fitting in and true belonging. Know this: you belong to yourself. You belong to what you love, to any kind of memory of happiness that you have in your childhood. You belong to it. And to all the people that have been kind to you and embraced your life and celebrated you, you belong to them. And don't go around in the world looking for reasons not to belong, because you will find them everywhere. Just keep in mind that you are here and you matter. Bye.